Hi, my name is Patrick Reagan. Welcome to the Operating System's Windows configuration, where we discuss the various tools to configure Windows 10 and 11, including Windows settings and control panel. In Part 1, Windows 10 settings, this video discusses the Windows 10 settings and control panel. For those who are going to take the A+ exam, there are practice questions toward the end of the video. The two main tools to configure Windows is the Windows settings and the control panel. The Windows settings is relatively new to Windows, which started with Windows 8, which was known as PC settings back then. The traditional configuration tool has been the control panel, which has been around since Windows 1.0. Since Windows 95, the control panel has been implemented as a special folder that contains shortcuts to various applets. While the folder does not physically exist, it contains shortcuts to various applets. Microsoft has been making efforts to replace the Windows control panel with Windows settings, but that is still in progress. You also see differences between Windows 10 and Windows 11 settings. Windows settings found in Windows 10 comes with a new design and interface, especially when compared to the traditional control panel. It offers personalization, system, and privacy options. If you log in with a Microsoft account, you can sync your settings across systems. To open Windows 10 settings, click the Start button and click Settings. System allows you to configure display, sound, notifications, and power. Devices allows you to configure Bluetooth, printers, and pointing devices such as mice and trackballs. Phone links your Android and iPhones. Networking Internet allows you to configure Wi-Fi, Ethernet, airplane mode, and VPN. Personalization allows you to manage your background, lock screen, and colors. Apps allows you to uninstall programs, set app defaults, and optional features. Accounts allows you to manage your accounts, email, sync, work, and family. Time and language allows you to configure speech, region, date, and time. Gaming allows you to configure Xbox game bar, captures, and game mode. Ease of access allows you to manage and use narrator, magnifier, and high contrast. Search allows you to find my files and permissions. Cortana lets you learn all about Cortana and your privacy settings, where you can manage what you permit Cortana to do, see, and use. However, you may not see Cortana on the new versions of Windows since it has been deprecated and will be eventually replaced with Microsoft Copilot. Privacy allows you to manage location, camera, and microphones. Updating security allows you to manage Windows updates, manage recovery, and backups. Windows 10 System Settings display page allows you to modify the display, including rearrange your monitors and enable nightlight. Change scale and layout, including changing display resolution and display orientation. You can also duplicate or extend monitors. Windows 10 System Settings sound page allows you to manage sound. Settings include choose your output and input device, test and troubleshoot output and input devices, and manage app volume and device preferences. Windows 10 System Settings Notifications and Actions page allows you to manage notifications and actions. Settings include disable or enable notifications, including disabling or enabling for individual applications, show notifications on lock screen, allow notifications to play sounds. Focus Assist allows you to tweak notifications even further. Windows 10 System Settings Power and Sleep page allows you to manage power and sleep for when it is connected to power and battery. Windows 10 System Settings Storage page allows you to enable or disable automatically free up disk space. If you have a tablet, you can use the tablet page to configure if the PC will go into tablet mode or not. Tablet mode is optimized for touch control instead of a separate keyboard and mouse. Windows 10 System Settings Shared Experiences allows you to configure sharing content with a nearby device by using Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Windows 10 System Settings Clipboard page allows you to manage your clipboard, which is used to cut, copy, and paste. The System Settings About page shows the device name, type of processor, installed RAM, system type, pen and touch, Windows edition and version, date Windows was installed, OS build, option to rename a computer, and option to configure product key or upgrade your edition of Windows. If you click the Remote Desktop link on the About page, it will open the Remote Desktop page. The Remote Desktop page allows you to enable or disable Remote Desktop and to click Advanced Settings link. The Advanced Settings page allows you to configure if Network Level Authentication or NLA is required, which is recommended. NLA ensures that only authorized users can establish a remote desktop session before full network access is granted. NLA significantly minimizes the resources a server uses per attempted connection and thereby mitigates the risk posed by denial of service DOS attack. As you can see, Remote Desktop uses port 3389. Windows 10 Personalization Settings allows you to configure background colors and color schemes. It also allows you to configure the lock screen. The Screensaver Settings opens the Control Panel Screensaver Settings. A Windows theme is a group of settings, colors, sounds, and similar configurable options that define how the interface appears to the user. Windows Settings allows you to select from the available themes and gives you the ability to download additional themes from the Microsoft Store. The Fonts page allows you to copy font files to the C:\\Windows\fonts folder, which will add fonts to the windows, which can be used by Microsoft Word and other programs. Windows 10 Personalization Settings allows you to configure the Start button and taskbar. The Start page allows you to configure what options and which folders show in Start. The taskbar page allows you to configure the taskbar, including locking the taskbar, automatically hide the taskbar, the location of the taskbar, and to show or hide labels on taskbar buttons. The Time and Language Settings Date and Time page allows you to set time automatically, which is retrieved from the internet. It also allows you to specify the time zone and to automatically adjust for daylight savings. The Region page allows you to choose the country and date and time formats based on region. And choose the language used by display, apps, and keyboard. The Windows Settings Privacy Settings controls permissions to certain types of data and devices so that you can control your privacy and to make sure that malware and unauthorized software does not access certain devices or data. This includes speech recognition, typing history and handwritten patterns, location, camera, microphones, contacts, calendar, phone calls, email, tasks, and documents. For camera and microphones, you can use privacy settings to allow the camera and microphones to be used and to specify which application can use the camera and microphones so that someone does not use this device to spy on you. Privacy settings are also available for contacts, calendars, emails, and tasks where you can specify which applications can access this data. Privacy settings are also available for documents, pictures, videos, and file system. Control Panel is a component of Microsoft Windows that provides the ability to view and change system settings. Control panels can be divided into categories or applets. The applets are icons that represent the individual components that contain the settings and options for various parts of Windows. Most applets are specific Windows default applets, but additional applets can be provided by third parties such as audio and video drivers, input devices, and networking tools. Microsoft has been making an effort to replace the Windows control panel with Windows settings, but that is still in progress. The control panel has three views: category, large icons, and small icons. As we go through the categories and applets, some of the categories and applets will open Windows settings. System and security checks your computer status, backup and restore, and other options. Network and internet allows you to view and configure network status. Hardware and sound allows you to view which devices are on your computer and to add devices. Programs is used to uninstall programs. User accounts is used to change user accessibility. Appearance and personalization allows you to change desktop options like fonts and screen readers. Clock and region allows you to change date and time. Ease of access is used to optimize your display settings. Question: which tool is replacing the Windows control panel? Answer: Windows settings. Question: in Windows settings, where would you configure the power settings? Answer: System. Question: in Windows settings, where would you choose your output and input devices? Answer: System. Question: in Windows settings, where you configure the notifications? Answer: System. Question: in Windows settings, where would you configure the Windows colors? Answer: Personalization. Question: in Windows settings, where would you configure the Microsoft Teams is the only program that can use your camera and microphone? Answer: Privacy. For more information, visit these sites. In summary, the two main tools to configure Windows is Windows Settings and Control Panel. Microsoft has been making efforts to replace the Windows Control Panel with Windows Settings, but it is still in progress. Windows Settings found in Windows 10 comes with a new design and interface, especially when compared to the additional Control Panel. Control Panel is a component of Microsoft Windows that provides the ability to view and change system settings. It is divided into categories or applets. Thank you for watching this video. The next video will be Configuring Windows Part 2 Windows 11 Settings. Thank you.